everybody. So my name is Eve. This is Eve's Creations Paint Party. It's Friday night. What? So we're doing Cardinal Couple. Oh yeah, Christmas in July. That's what I'm talking about. I love it, 6,000%. And of course we have to say hi to you know who. There he is. He's chilling like a villain. He's such a good boy. What you doing, Butters? Here. You want a treat? You want a treat? Huh? You want a treat? Oh, yeah. Let's give him a treat. There you go, buddy. Brush your teeth. There you are. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, let me show you my handy-dandy table. So, we have same colors every single party. White, black, blue, red, and yellow. Of course, I have my coffee. The weapons this evening. Big boy, he is a 1-inch flat. We have Tiny in the house. He is a small round for details. We have Mr. Nifty, of course. He's for details. We have a Fluffy in the house, a stiff bristled brush that gets all fluffy. And we have Mini-Me. He looks just like Big Boy. He is a small shader. So, when you clean your brushes, you want to swirl. You want to tap. You want to dab on your paper towel. You want them to be wet but not dripping. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, say hello if you're painting with me tonight. Let me know if anyone's painting with me tonight. I cannot see the comments. I don't know why. They're not showing up. I'm not really sure why that is. Let me hit some buttons here, because I know you guys are on here. I know you guys are on here. I see you. I see you on here. There they are. I hit a button. I got them now. Hi, April. How you doing, sweetheart? Hello. So, April's in the house. Say hello. If you're painting with us tonight, let me know if anyone's painting with us tonight. And, let me know if you're new. We'll give you a warm Eve's Creations family welcome. Debbie's in the house. Hi, Debbie. How you doing, sweetheart? So, yeah, I'm seeing the comments now. I don't know what button I hit. Facebook keeps changing things on me. I'm going to put you guys in your handy-dandy holder as I play with my hair. I curled my hair tonight to go with some, like, I was shooting for old Hollywood glam with the make-em-ups and the hair. So those of you following my make-em-ups journey, there you go. All right, I'm going to put you in your handy-dandy holder. There you are. All right, so I am working on a 16 by 20 canvas. It is 20 straight up and down and 16 going across. If you're working on something different, that's fine. As long as you're in the general area of your canvas that I am in, you will be fine. Hello, Christine. How you doing, sweetheart? Hello, Joanne. How you doing, sweetheart? So we have Christine and Joanne and Joan. Hello, Joan. How you doing, lovey? And Carolyn. Carolyn is hanging out with us tonight. Hello, Carolyn. How are you doing, sweetheart? Mary is here. Aw, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, Mary. So I'm writing everybody down for roll call. You guys know how much I love to do roll call. And now I can see your comments. They weren't popping up before. I don't know what happened. Connie is here. Hello, Connie. How you doing, sweetheart? All right, so I'm writing everything down. I can't show you both at once, the painting we're working on and the finished product. So if you need a... April, you're first, sweetie. See, I got you first. So if you need a reference, take, thank you so much, Carolyn. Take a screenshot if you need a reference. Brenda is here. Oh, no, Brenda, I hope you didn't hit any buttons. The spammers tonight were, like, insane. I tried to, hello, May. Welcome to the family, May. Everybody give May a warm Eve's Creations family welcome. And Jolene is here. Hello, Jolene. How are you, sweetheart? And Britton Britton and Lena. Hi, Lena. How are you, sweetie? So we got Britton and Lena are here tonight. Hello, Lena. That reminds me, all of my videos are kid friendly, so I'm going to try to watch this thing. And you guys watch your comments, and we'll be good to go. Hi, Lena. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Everybody give a warm Ease Creations family welcome to May, Jolene, Britton, and Lena. Yes, welcome to the fam, guys. Welcome to the fam. 6,000%. So, if you need to, take your screenshot so you have your reference. And we're going to get started as more people are popping on. All right, if you have any questions for me, 6,000% ask. If I miss a comment, just post it again. Just post it again. Sometimes they don't come through. Sometimes I just miss it. Sometimes I'm playing around with this thing so I don't see it. Catherine is here. Everybody give Catherine a warm Eve's Creations family welcome. Hello, Catherine. How are you doing, lovey? Good to see you. Welcome to the fam. So, there you have it. Wanda's hanging out with us tonight. Hello, Wanda. How are you, sweetheart? Becky is here. Hi, Becky. Hi, sweetie. All right. Whew. I think I got it all. I think I got it all. All right. So we're going to do awesome stuff tonight. Like I said, if you have any questions, 6,000% ask me. And we'll get this thing started. Oh, yeah. Jinsey is here. Hi, Jinsey. I see you. I see you, Jinsey. Who'd I get last? I got Becky last, and we got Jinsey. Jinsey's hanging out with us tonight. Hi, sweetie. Kimberly is hanging out. Hi, Kimberly. Hello, everybody. Hi. Becky is here. Hello, Becky. And thank you so much, Becky. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, I actually blew the dust off with a curling iron to... I'm surprised the curling iron even worked. That's how long it's been since I pulled it out of the drawer. That's what we do. That's what we do. Lena says hi back to me. Thank you so much, Lena. Thank you, sweetheart. I think I saw Carol pop on. Hello, Carol. How are you doing, sweetie? Will this be available to paint later? Yes, 6,000%, Catherine. It will be on my page and on my YouTube channel. It is there. Replays are always available. I will post my YouTube link right now, and then we'll get started with the painting. Okay, so YouTube is right there, and I will post anybody sending support. Stars is enabled, and I will also post my PayPal. Let's get this all out of the way since I'm in the proper screen. PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. We got Venmo in the house. Where's Venmo? There it is. Bam. All right, so you guys are all set. Debbie made it. Hi, Debbie. How are you, sweetie? Thank you, Catherine. Hello, Debbie. Debbie's here. Thank you so much for the stars, Jinsey. You guys are amazing. Those of you that don't know, stars is enabled. It's a way to send support. Each star is a penny, all right? Just so you know what you're hitting. And also, I just posted the PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App link. If you do send me support and it's over $3, first of all, thank you very much. Second of all, I send out free brushes to whoever sends support. So 6,000% private message me your address, okay? All right, cool beans. All right, I think I got everybody. Bonnie's here. Hello, Bonnie. How are you doing, sweetie? Okay, so let's do our Cardinal couple. Everybody can thank Jinsey for this painting. She's the one that requested it. 6,000%. It is Christmas in July, people. Oh yeah, because July 25th is coming around the bend. Hello, Kelly. How you doing, sweetie? Becky, you got your brushes? Awesome, Becky. That's great. I'm so glad you got your brushes. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba. Okay, so hoping to get back into Friday night paintings in August. I hope you do too. I hope you do too. All right, it's the almighty blank canvas. Oh no, it is so scary. But we're gonna hit it with our almighty brushes. We're gonna hit it with our almighty brushes, and it's not gonna be scary anymore. Thank you so much, Catherine. Thank you, sweetheart. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna swirl tap dab. We're gonna swirl tap dab Big Boy. We're gonna swirl tap dab Big Boy. He is a 1-inch flat, and we are going to start off with black. Okay, so a little bit of black and some blue. Got some blue and a whole lot of white. Black, blue, and white, guys. Black, blue, and white. And you're just very simply just going to go across. You're just going to go across. That's all. And you just sweep it on, nice and easy peasy. And you want the separation of color. So, thank you so much, Brenda. Thank you so much. Thank you, Carol. You want this separation of color, right? Because it looks like snowy in the trees. So put it on and then leave it alone. Leave it alone. Thank you so much, Brenda. That was very sweet of you. Thank you. You all warm my heart, guys. You really do. You really do. All right, so same thing. Blue, white, and black. Blue, white, and black, guys. Blue, white, and black. Black, blue, black, blah, blah, blah. Blue, black, black. I had a little too much black on there. You see that? So if that happens, you could just do a little white wipe with your brush, right? Get the black right off the tip of it, and then just grab more white. And then just grab some more white. And, all right, Bonnie. Bye, sweetie. Catch you later. Grab more white. And you can very easily just pull that out. Just pull that out. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Yes, we want to leave it alone. Alright, so we're going to take this down about halfway doing this. Okay, about halfway. We're going to do this about halfway, grabbing the blue, black, and white, and just fluffing it on there and making sure we get that separation of color going on. Okay, about halfway. Alright, and you just leave it alone. Just lots of fluffers, lots and lots of fluffing. Are you left-handed? No, I am on the, Gracie, hello, sweetheart. How you doing? I am not left-handed. What happens is that my camera mirrors my image. So you guys are seeing me on the flip side. That's what's going on. So the since it's in selfie mode, it winds up flipping me around, and everything you see is actually the mirror image of what I'm doing. Okay. So now, once you get to this halfway point, you want to turn around and you want to grab a whole lot of extra white. So you're grabbing a whole lot of white now, like a whole lot of white. And a little bit of blue and a little bit of black, but a whole lot of white. And you want to sweep it across, but you're going to use longer strokes. Alright, so you're going to use longer strokes like that. Okay, and you're going to sweep this across. Again, putting it on and then leaving it alone, but you want these longer pieces going across with a whole lot of white. See that? See all the white I'm grabbing? Ba-bam. Ba-bam. And as you're doing this, you still want to put it on thin, okay? You still want to put it on thin, right? Because we have to paint on top of it, so we need this stuff to dry. We need this to dry. Okay, and you just want to start doing longer strokes across. Whole lot of white, a little bit of black, a little bit of blue, and yes, it's crazy hot. It is crazy hot. So if you get a dark streak like that, just grab a whole bunch of white. And you want to just do longer streaks going across. Hi, Irene. Hello, 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 sweetheart. Irene is in the house. What? Irene is here. Oh, yeah. So, we're just going to sweep this across. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, guys. You can brush over it a few times to soften it out if you want and get it to be nice and thin, because we want to be able to paint on this, and if we don't spread it out nice and thin, you're going to wind up having it too wet, and you're not going to be able to paint on top of it because you're going to be waiting for it to dry. So as we work our way down, we want to just do, I got a chunky, you just want to do longer strokes. Longer strokes, woohoo! It's Friday. Did you guys miss me on Tuesday? I know. Those of you that are new to the fam, every Tuesday I do a How-To Tuesday. So same back channel, same back place. It's just that I usually teach one particular thing. It's not an actual finished painting. So every Tuesday at 7 o'clock I also go live. But hello, Katie. But this Tuesday I had a party to go to. So I wasn't here. I wasn't here, and I know you guys missed me. I know you minced me. You minced me. How did the face painting go? The face painting went very nice. I got to put some really cute things on some kiddos, and it's always fun. The best part is after I'm painting them, I let them see with the mirror, and their faces just light up, and 6,000%. That is the best feeling in the world when they see the artwork on their face, and they get super duper duper excited. I love it. I like it a lot. Alright, so filling up the whole canvas. Alright, so the next thing you want to do, still hot in, finally finished your husband a bacon sandwich, you're catching up. That's okay, Christine, we didn't do very much. Still hot in Texas, we need rain. Oh yeah, I bet you are. I bet you do. That's alright, Christine, we really didn't do much. So, the next thing you want to do is we're going to grab dirty brush still. We're going to grab some black. Okay, and we're going to grab some blue. Alright, and you want to zigzag in a path. Okay, so you're going to start about the halfway mark. Alright, you're going to start the halfway mark over on the side of your canvas. And you're just going to hold your brush like this, and you're going to zig a line that way. Alright, and you're going to zig a line this way till about the middle, when you hit the middle again. And then you're going to flatten your brush out, and you're going to put in a line that way. Once you have those ziggy-zaggy lines going on, ziggy-zaggy, zoomy lines, you're going to grab, and I'm doing this quickly because I want to do it with my paint still wet. This way it fluffs in very nicely. So I'm just going to grab more paint now, and I want to hold it this way for back here. Alright, and I'm just going to do these little swoopy lines, and you want to do this with your paint still wet. That's why it blends in and it looks like it's a path in the snow, because it's blending into the sides of the snow. Alright, and then when you get to this point, you want to grab more paint. You want to grab more paint, so you're not just mushing stuff around, you're actually putting paint. So you grab more paint, And then you're going to do bigger swipes like this. Back and forth. Alright. And then you're going to bring it on down. Still going across. And I'm kind of holding my brush like not perfectly straight, a little bit at an angle horizontally, and I'm kind of flicking upwards like this. I'm going like this. So I'm doing like this little swoop swoop thing going on. Hello, 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 Lori. And this way you get these little swoop swoops in your path. Okay? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You just made a path in the snow. And then you want to leave it alone. Because if you keep playing with it, you're going to mush it out and you're not going to see the dark anymore. You're just going to have this like mushy gray. Alright? So then you want to leave it alone. If you played with it too much, you can easily put some black and blue on the tip of your brush here and do a few little swipes like that. If you messed with it too much and it became mushy on you, you can do a few little swipes like that. But then, you guys know what I'm going to say. Leave it alone. So you can put some more swipes in. Nice light touch. You can put some more of these little swipes in. But then you want to leave it alone. Alright, so that being said and done, I'm going to wipe my brush off, and then I'm going to put him, I'm going to swirl tap dab him. Lori's here. Hello, Lori. How are you, lovey? Hello, 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 Lori. I'm going to wipe him off. We're going to wipe him off. Okay, and then I'm going to put them in my water. So, the next thing we want to do, and I hope you're not still playing up here. We want this fairly dry. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my fluffy brush. Now, if you don't have a fluffy brush, you can do this with the flat brush. It's just the fluffy brush makes it look a little nicer. So, I'm going to take my fluffy brush and I'm going to smash them into my paper towel so we get a little bit more fluffy. And I'm going to grab just my white. Now, it could be the dirty white. And I'm going to grab just my white. And I'm going to dab, dab, dab it into my brush. Hello, 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 Robbie. How you doing? This is Sandra. Hello, 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 Sandra. How, sweetheart? How are you? So, once I have this on my brush, very, very lightly. How am I going to do it? Very, very lightly. Very, very, very lightly. I'm holding my brush back here and very, very, very lightly, especially since this should be pretty much dry, I am just going to sweep. And back here, you want small little pieces. Here, there, not everywhere. So back there, you want small little sweeps. Okay, here, there, not everywhere. Here, I'm refilling my brush up. You're happy to be, I'm happy you're here too, Sandra. Okay, and you want just small little sweeps. Okay, just small little sweeps like this. And like I said, here, there, not everywhere. And now I'm just kind of smushing them out a little bit with no paint on my brush, just to make them extra, extra fluffy. All right, so I'll grab some more, and I'm just going to do some sweeps. Now, as you get further down your canvas, hello, 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 Marie. How are you, lovey? Thank you so much, Marie. As you work your way further down, you want your sweeps to be bigger. Okay, as you go further down, you want your sweeps to be bigger. All right. And this is going to give you your misty, fluffy snow look. Like I said, if you don't have a fluffy brush, you can always turn around and do this with your flat brush. But I am just smushing and pushing and sweeping and getting this nice white fluffiness of snow. Hi Doreen, how are you? I gotta grab more white paint. I'll be right back. Okay. What size canvas am I using? 16 by 20. 16 this way, 20 straight up and down. If you're using something different, just be in the basic area of your canvas that I am in and you will be fine. You're feeling good, Marie? Awesome. Alright, so more white paint. And where my path is, I'm just going to kind of zigzag it into my path a little bit. Now I'm kind of pressing and I'm just pushing this around, doing a little rub because you can rub with the fluffy brushes. They don't mind. And you're going to get this soft, you're welcome, sweetie, you're going to get this very soft, snowy, fluffy, snowy vibe going on. And I'm just flicking when I get to where my path is. And then I'm doing a little scrubbing. So, like I said, you can do this with your flat brush too. You can do this with the flat brush too. It's you just do light sweeps. So just like we did before, except you're just grabbing white paint now and you're just going to do these light little sweeps with it. And you just want to have more spots look a little more snowy. That's all. So those of you that don't have a fluffy brush, I'll show you with the flat brush. So I swirl tap dab my flat brush, okay? And what you want to do is you're going to grab your white paint and you want it just on the tip of the brush and you're going to do these sweeping motions. So I'll show you on here. Hello, Jody, how are you? Yes, Jody, so my replays are always available on my page and on my YouTube, okay? So, and you're just going to do the sweeping motions like this. So those of you that don't have a fluffy brush, you can just turn around and do the same exact effect with your flat brush. You want your paint just on the tip, and you're just going to do these sweeping motions like this. Here, there, not everywhere. And you can sweep in these nice snowy pieces, okay? So it's personal preference. It's really up to you, however you want to do it. Some of you, I do sell the brush kits that have all my brushes that I use for every video in them. But some of you that just got your supplies at home, you might not have a fluffy brush. So you can do the same effect with a flat brush. Do the same exact thing with a flat brush. Catherine, yeah, say you're busy. Tell them you're busy. I'm busy, man. That's all there is to it. Alright, I'm going to give you guys a chance to catch up, mustard, with all that. Leave this area alone. Stop playing with that area because we have to put in our trees that are in the distance and you don't want your paint to be wet as we're doing those trees. So stop playing with the area that's on top. Finish sweeping your snow on the bottom. Show us your fluffy brush. Well, Katie, it's not that kind of party. Show you my fluffy brush. Alright, I'll show you my fluffy brush. Let me scroll tap dab it so you can get a good look at what it actually looks like, Katie. There you go. That's my fluffy brush. Cindy says she's ready for snow for real. That's why I love doing Christmas in July, because it kind of gives us a break and we could paint something that's nice and soft and cold. So that's my fluffy brush, hon. Okay? Okay. That was funny. Alright, I'm going to do roll call. And you guys catch up, mustard. Alright? Because you know, I just showed you a lot. So, and those of you that came in a little bit late, gives you a chance to catch up muster a little bit. Here is, you're welcome, Katie. Cheers, everybody. So, we have April, and if I missed you, let me know I missed you, all right? We have April and Debbie and Christine. We have Joanne and Joan and Carolyn, Mary, Connie, Brenda, May and Jolene and Britton and Lena. Hello, sweeties. And Catherine and Wanda and Becky. Jincy's in the house. Kimberly, Carol, Debbie, Bonnie, Kelly, Gracie, Irene, Katie, Lori, Sandra, Marie, and Jody. Snowman and Snowflakes, do it, Brianna. Do it. 6,000%. Go rogue. Go rogue. Go rogue. You guys have fun with your snow. You can paint in anything you want in your snow. $6,000%. Do whatever you want. It's your painting. It is your painting. Oh, Coralie. Hi, sweetie. How are you? I haven't seen you in a good minute. How's things been going, Coralie? Hello, 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 sweetheart. So, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab Tiny. He is a small round for details. And Cindy is here. Hello, 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 Cindy. Let's get Cindy on the list. And all the way back up here, did I get Cynthia? Brianna is here. Did I get Cynthia? I don't know if I got Cynthia. We'll add Cynthia to the list. And Brianna is here. And, oh, I missed a bunch of you. Geez, and I thought I did so good. And Elizabeth is here. Hello, 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 Elizabeth. Oh, I missed a bunch of you. Sorry about that. Alright, so I'm going to grab Trying to Survive This Pregnant. Oh, congratulations, sweetie. Oh, little baby coming. Everybody send some blessings to Coralie because she's expecting a little one. And all the way back in here. Sounds good, Tanya. Just hang out with us. Just hang out and chill with us. Oh, thank you so much, Donna. So we have Tanya is here. I'm getting myself dizzy. I keep turning around to grab my list. And Donna. Oh my goodness, twins. Twins. It's your birthday today, Kimberly. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kimberly. I totally forgot the name. Like 2 seconds later and I already forgot the name. Happy birthday to you. Stolat, stolat, nie żyje nam. Stolat, stolat, nie żyje nam. Nie żyje nam. Now you know why I paint and don't sing. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, tiny brush. I'm getting distracted. Tiny brush, right? White paint. And you're going to come up here and you're going to put in all these tiny little squiggly things. See all these tiny little squiggly things? That's what you're going to put up there. 6,000%. All right, so your small brush and you're just going to do wiggle wiggles. You're just going to do wiggle wiggles. That's all you're going to do. And every time you see me leave the canvas, I'm grabbing more paint. I'm grabbing more paint. So you're just going to put in the idea of trees being back here. Just by doing these little wiggly wiggly things. Hello, 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 Tina B. How are you, sweetie? Okay. So So 6,000%. And put a few little twigs going off. Hello, 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 Tina B. And here, there, not everywhere. You're just going to put in the hint of trees being all the way back here in the distance. All the way in the distance. All right. Then what you want to do is I want to switch to Mini-Me now. Emmeline and Will. Oh, I love those names, Coralie. I love those names. What have you missed? Coralie's pregnant with twins. It is Catherine's birthday. We've got a lot of new members to the fam tonight. Britton is painting with her daughter, Lena. And, let's see, what else did we talk about already? We talked about a lot of stuff. Coralie is having twins. All right, so now I'm switching to Mini-Me. As I work my way further down, I'm still above halfway. Okay, and now I'm just going to put in the idea of bigger trees. So I'm just grabbing white paint and my Mini-Me brush, and I'm just pulling in. Notice I'm moving my hand, not the brush, and I'm putting in these bigger trees. Okay, and then at the bottom of this bigger tree, I'm just going to do a little zigzag zoom to hide its trunk in the snow. Okay. So you just want to put in this idea of bigger trees. And you can make these white, you can make these a little bit gray, some of them grayer. So I'm going to grab a little bit of black with my white and put in another tree that's like right there. Okay, and I'm just using Mini-Me because it's a little bit thicker, and I'm not being too concerned about the shape because it is in the distance. Alright, and then I could put some branches coming off of that. Doop. Doop. And fluffers. Fluffers. Just a little zigzag fluffers action underneath the trunk. That's all. That's all. And then I'm just flicking some white on top of it. Okay, so you're just adding these trees in the background. Yes, Doreen, you're loving the cool colors of this one on such a hot day. Absolutely, 6,000%. That's why I love doing Christmas in July, because we're all ready for something nice and cool. And I got myself all dizzy. Turning around to grab the roll call pad. It's behind me, and I'm all like dizzy now. So, 6,000%. You can also take your Mr. Nifty brush Alright, and grab some white paint, and you can put in the idea of some little twigs and plants back in here. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I'm just grabbing paint and doing these little wiggle doos. We're just doing little wiggle doos. That's all we're doing. Just little wiggle doos. And let's put another little wiggle do over here. So you can have as many of these trees and twigs and whatnots that you want. Okay. It's not, it's your snowy woods. You can have as many as you want. So there's another little wiggle tree. And you can do like a little plant coming out of the tree here, which is just little flicks. So you can do like a snowy little plant if you want to. Okay, 6,000%. And you're just going to add that all in, doing different whites and grays and all different things, because it's all stuff disappearing in the snowy mist. And you don't have to be too concerned with any of it. If you want to add some smaller branches to your tree, you could do that. Okay, I'm just pulling maybe a close-up, smaller branches. Close-up! Please show the new ladies Mr. Nifty. So I missed that. Please show the new ladies Mr. Nifty so they know how cute the brush is. Mr. Nifty. There he is. Oh, hello, Kelly and Greg. How are you guys? Hello, guys. Awesome. I love it. 6,000%. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Greg. Yep. So this is Mr. Nifty. And if you want to do some branches off your bigger trees, you can just do little squiggles. Okay, you just pull off from the tree and do a little squiggle do. That's all you're doing. Okay, so you can add these in as much as you want or as little as you want. It is your world back there. The little tiny plants. Let me give you a close-up of the little tiny plant. So all I did was just do flicks. And, you know, if your paint is going on globby, just add a little bit of water to it. And like I said, you can make some of these gray. You can make some of these white. Hello, Mary. You can have fun with this whole scenery in the back. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy to do. And you're not worrying about anything being any particular way because it is so far in the distance. Like I said, it is just a misty, snowy, woodsy area. That's all it is. That is all it is. All it is and all it ever will be. So, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in our two big trees. We're going to put in our two big trees. Excuse me, I had to get some water. I am like dying of thirst. I am parched. I am parched. Woo! It's like my whole tongue just got puffy. That's how dry my mouth was. I needed to grab some water. Okay, so you need big boy, you need white paint, you need some black paint, you need some blue paint. Alright, we're going to put our big trees in because then we're going to map out our cardinals. So we're going to put in our two big trees. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So we're putting in our tree that's over here. And then the tree with the branches that the birds are sitting on, okay? So, swirl, tap, dab, big boy. Swirl, tap, dab, big boy. And right over here, in front of this piece of the path, is a very large tree, okay? So I am going to grab white, and I can grab the dirty white, it's fine. I'm going to grab white, and I'm going to grab some black, okay? And then I'm going to do a little dab, just to see what color I got. I'm going to grab some more white, because that's a little dark, and I'm not over mixing it. I'm not over mixing it. You want it to stay separated like that, all right? And I'm going to hold my brush back here, and I'm just going to pull. And it's going right off the canvas. Okay, so I'm holding my brush back here. I'm going to go straight onto my canvas with my brush, and I'm going to pull. Just like that. Just like that. And I'm going to grab some more paint now. And I'm going to start here. And I'm going to come up this way, and I'm going to pull. Okay, and then I'm going to make these thicker. So I'm going to make this thicker, 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 thicker. And I'm going to do these thicker, 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 thicker. Okay, and we have our nice big tree. And then I'm just going to pull the bottom of the trunk out. Alright, and I'm going to turn around and put in another branch. So I'm going to follow along what I painted, and then I'm just going to turn my thumb like this and swoop out another branch. Just like that. Okay, and I'm doing it in black so you can see what I'm doing, because it's getting lost among all the misty grayness. So I'm doing this in a really, really, really dark gray. You can do it in whatever colors you want. You can do it in whatever colors you want. Okay, so now the top of my tree is really thick. So I'm going to come down and make this thicker, 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 thicker. And it's going to even the whole tree out. Alright, and then I'm going to grab some more paint. And I'm going to do a branch coming off this way. Right off the side of the canvas. And just make my trunk thicker as I go down. And if you want a nice thin branch, I'll show you how to do that. So you want to wipe your flat brush on your paper towel. Wipe big boy on your paper towel. Make sure you get a nice thin edge on your brush. Okay, you have to make sure your paint's not globby. So, like I said, I'm doing this in really dark so you guys can see what I'm doing. You want to make sure you have a nice thin line like that. You're going to hold your brush back here. You're going to do the show me the money trick. So you want to take your hand like this and then put your brush in there. And you could spin it. See how I'm spinning my brush? So this way when you churn, you can churn like that. And I'm going to start on my trunk and then churn and pull out. Alright, start up my trunk, churn, and pull out. And you can get a nice thin branch. Okay, and then I'm just going to make that piece thicker. Just like that. 6,000%. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. If you can't do the churn move, you just churn your hand. Okay, if you can't do the churn move with your thumb, you just churn your arm. See? It's all good. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. Alright, now I'm going to grab some white paint. And I'm just going to put in some dabs of white paint in here. Just to give it a little bit of texture. And just like that, you made a big old tree. Okay? And I'm going to grab some white paint and I'm just going to fluff it on the bottom to hide where the trunk is going in the snow. Just like that. And bring some of this darker color down. And there is your bigger tree. There is is your bigger tree. Yep. 6,000%. 6,000%. There is your bigger tree. Okay, and you could always go in. You could always go in with your tiny brush later on, and you can make some branches off of this. Okay, so you can go in with your smaller brush and just pull out some smaller branches if you want to. Your tree, your world, whatever you want to do. Okay, so you do the tinier branches. Close up. You do the tinier branches with the smaller brush. Just like that. Alright, 6,000%. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to put in the big tree that the cardinals are sitting on. Alright, so we want to do the big tree that the cardinals are sitting on. So I got to grab some more black paint. And that is the next tree that we're doing. This tree is easy peasy lemon squeezy. 6,000%. Alright, so I'm going to grab Big Boy. I'm going to grab Big Boy. Yeah, so you guys can take this and you can do all winter scenes of paintings. You know, you don't have to add cardinals to your painting and all of that happy stuff. So you can totally take everything we did so far and make like your own winter paintings. If you want to. Alright, so on this side right here, we need a big old tree going right down the side of our canvas. See that? From the bottom to the top. Alright, so I'm going to grab my white, and I'm going to grab my black, and I'm going to grab my blue, and I'm going to do mine a little darker so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to throw this all on my brush. Hello, Jean, how are you? And I'm just going to pull from the top to the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to turn my brush the other way and get an edge on there. And now I'm just going to color it in. Like I said, I did mine really dark so you can see what I'm doing. It's your tree, it's your world. You can do whatever your little heart desires. Whatever your little heart desires. Okay, I'm just grabbing some more paint and I'm just going to fill this a little thicker on the bottom. And I'm just dabbing and smushing and making all these texture things happen. 6,000%. Like I said, I did mine extra dark so you guys can see what I'm doing. And just keep in mind, the more you play with it, the bigger it's going to get. So if you're trying to get that perfect edge on the side of your tree, stop! Trees don't have a perfect straight edge. They do not have a perfect straight edge. Alright? So stop trying to make this line right here perfect without any little whoobies in it. Because whoobies, there's a word for you. Whoobies. I just made a new word. They have whoobies in them. Alright? So stop trying to make it perfect. Okay. Once you have that painted in, you can turn around and grab your white and your gray and your blue right on my dirty brush. And I am just going to put dashes and dabs in here. And if it starts getting mushy, grab some more paint. So I am just putting blue and white and black on here. And I am just putting flicky-doos and adding the texture in. We're just doing, and if it starts to get mushy, you need to grab more paint. Okay, 6,000%. Right, and you can put in all of this texture into your tree. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Just like that. Alright, so the next thing we need is the branches that the cardinals sit on. Hi Lisa V, how are you doing, sweetie? We need the branches that the cardinals sit on. So you want to put these in the right spot. Okay, so let me show you. Let me wipe off Big Boy first. Okay, and so I can put them down. And let me show you where these cardinals are, okay? And I'm going to move the camera all the way back so you can see where they are, okay? They're in the middle of the canvas. So if we find our center, it is right here. And if you notice, this cardinal is sitting on a branch that's going right through the center of my painting. Okay, the next branch is the middle of the bottom half. So when you put these branches in, you want to make sure that you have space, the one cardinal here and the other cardinal on the other side that's going to be lower. So one is down on the bottom half, and then one is right in the middle of your canvas. Okay? So that's what you want to keep in mind when you're putting these branches in off of the big tree. Alright, so I'm going to take Big Boy, and like I said, I'm doing mine dark so you can see what I'm doing. You can make your branches any way you want to, so I'm grabbing the blue and the black and the white again, but I'm making sure I'm not having all these globs. I'm going to wipe the edge off to have this right on the tip of my brush. I'm going to hold my brush like this again. I'm going to utilize spinning. If you can't spin, you could arch with your arm or your hand. I'm going to find my center. Find my center. Woosah it out. Woosah it out. I'm going to put a little mark there so I know where I'm going. I'm going to pull along my tree. I'm going to turn my brush. I'm going to find my mark. And I'm just going to pull out. Just like that. Okay, so Cardinal 1 is going to sit right here. Once you have your initial line in, now I'm going to grab some more white paint. And I'm going to pull along this piece. And then I'm going to pull this into my tree. And do a couple of dabs with the white paint. So the branch is coming out from the tree. See how it's in front of the rest of the bark just by using that white paint? Okay? Now you can take your tiny brush if you want to. And you can add some twigs and whatnots to the end of your branch here if you want to. I wouldn't go crazy. You might be covering it up with the cardinal, the other cardinal anyway. So, you know, that's up to you. Alright, so the next branch, I'm just going to make this a little thicker. Just going to make that a little thicker. So the next branch is down here. And my other cardinal is going to be sitting right here. So I'm going to give myself a mark of where I got to go with that branch. Again, I'm going to pull my paint so it's nice and loose. It's nice and thin on the edge of my brush. There's my mark. I'm going to come out from my tree. I'm going to pull and hit my mark and go right off the canvas. And go right off the canvas with that. Alright. And I'm just going to make this thicker over here and add the white paint so you can see it against the trunk of the tree. And there's the other branch. There is the other branch. And you can add the texture to this other branch if you want to by putting in the dabs and the doohickeys and the whatnots. Okay, and this branch is thick. It's big. Look, see? It's like 2 fingers thick. Because it's a big branch going across your whole canvas. Okay, it's a big branch. And make sure that, you know, you're making a nice thick branch because it is going across your whole canvas here. But I'm not going to play too much because my Cardinal is going to be covering some of this. And then I'm just adding the lighter paint over here where it connects to the tree. So you can tell it's coming out from the tree and it's in the front. All right. Now we're ready for our birds. We're ready for the birds of the words. All right, so I am going to wipe off my big boy brush, 6,000%. And I'm going to put him in the water. I'm going to get clean, fresh paper towel so I don't put blue and gray and black into my birds. All right, got to always make sure you're not putting your brush into icky dicky on your paper towels. And I'm going to grab some clean white paint. Oh, yeah. And we're going to map in our birds, people. The bird is the word. 6,000%. 6,000%. The bird is the word. All right, you got it. I'll give you, hello, Sherry. How are you, sweetie? That's okay. No worries. It's all good. That's why I make the replays available. So, I'll give you guys a chance to catch up mustard. So, finish up what, your background and whatever you're playing with and your trees and all of that good stuff. But don't play in this area because we got to let that dry so we can put our birds on there. How do you guys like that? We've been painting for an hour and we got a whole snowy forest done. 6,000%. A whole snowy forest. And we got Coralie, who's having twins. Hello. We got April and Debbie and Christine, Joanne, Joan, Carolyn, Mary, Connie, Brenda, May, Jolene, Britton, Lena, Catherine, Wanda, Tanya, Donna, Catherine, Jean, Lisa V, Brianna, Becky, Jinsey, Kimberly, Carol, Debbie, Bonnie, Kelly, Gracie, Irene, Katie, Lori, Sandra, Marie, Jody, Cindy, Cynthia, Elizabeth, Tina B is in the house, Doreen, Kelly and Greg, and Sherry, and Helen is here. Look at Helen sneaking on at the end there. I just saw you, sweetie. And Helen is here. I'm going to need a respirator. I'm going to need a respirator for this roll call, people. And just a reminder, Stars is activated. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. There's my commercial for you. I have the brush sets. Same brushes I've used every single video since I started 2 years ago. Almost already. My goodness gracious. And also, if you send me support, you're going to get a Mr. Nifty for free. Here he is. Totally cute. Perfect for the details. Just ask the fam. They know what's up. They've gotten their Nifties. Welcome to the fam, everybody. Are you guys pumped? Oh, yeah. I'm pumped. We're pumped. Oh, my goodness. A little too much coffee there, Eve. A little too much coffee. All right. On that note, let me just grab some more caffeine. I'm going to grab my soda. It's soda time. And let's map some birds in. Thank you so much, April. Hello, 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 Sheila. Cheers, everybody. Do you love it, April? Do you love it? Do you love it? Do you love it? $6,000%. So, the one thing I'm really happy about with the brush set, if I want to toot my own horn for a minute, is the fact that every single, Dinty loves it, April loves it, honestly, every single video I have ever done, paint party wise, is, Becky loves it, only uses these brushes. So if you're going to follow along, which thank you very much, and you don't have any stuff yet, the brushes that are in the kit are the only brushes I've ever used for every video. What kind of paint do I use? What kind of paint do I use, fam? I use, April's on point. Acrylic. You got it, love. You got it, sweetheart. Alright, I'm swirl tap dabbing Big Boy. The more I swirl, the cleaner he's gonna get. Swirling, we're swirling. I want to get all of that gray and blue and black out of him. The more you swirl, the cleaner he gets. And I'm going to tap him and dab him. Alright, I got myself white paint. Thank you, April. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, sweetheart. You're amazing. It's so much better when you guys explain stuff. I don't have to talk as much. Alright, bird number 1. The bird is the word. Now, when you put this in, make sure you leave room because you got to add bird number 2. So if this is the center, bird 1 is on one side, bird 2 is on the other side. So the first thing you're going to do is, let me show you the bird so you know where we're going. Okay? So the first thing you want to do is you want to draw a line that's at a slight angle. And you want to make everything smaller than what you actually want it. And you're going to do this in just white paint. Once you have that line in, on either side of the line, you're going to make an eyeball. Okay? And then fill it in. So on either side of the line, you're going to make an eyeball, and this is how you make things at an angle and even on both sides. And like I said, you want to make sure you're making this smaller than what you actually want it, because the more you play with it, the bigger it gets. Alright, once you have that shape in for yourself, you're going to turn around and you're just going to do a rectangle up for the tail feathers. Or a rectangle down, whatever, whichever. So there are your tail feathers right there. Okay? And these are about half of your eyeball, maybe a little bit smaller than your eyeball. Okay? 6,000%. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to go on this, yes, Lisa V, cooling us off. And Catherine, my Leo baby, my birthday's on Monday. So my birthday is actually on Christmas in July. So we're sharing a birthday weekend together, babes. Okay, so once you have that, on this back half, you're going to add the bump for the wing. And then you're going to bring that down and have that come out like that. And fill that in. And then you're going to turn your brush again and do the little square part for your wing. Okay, so there is your wing. Now you're going to do a swooped triangle. So what you want to do is you're going to bring a line out this way. And then you're going to do the triangle piece this way. Fill that in so you guys can see what I'm doing. Oh, Carolyn, it's your daughter's weekend for the birthday too? That's awesome. I love having my birthday in July. It's a lot of fun. Okay, and then what you want to do is you're going to swoop the top of this. So I'm going to swoop that way, boop. And I'm going to swoop this way, boop. Fill that in, and just like that, guys, you have your cardinal. Alright? And then you want to fill and fix. You want to smooth your lines out. So I go from my swoop up here, and I'm just going to pull downwards, and then I'm going to come out for the bump of the wing, and I'm going to pull that way, so that's nice and smooth, going like that. And then this is actually coming out sharp, and I'm just going to follow down this way now and bring it into my tail. So that's a nice smooth line into the tail feathers. Alright, now bird number 2. Bird number 2. So bird number 2 is actually looking at you. So his back is facing you, and then his head is turned. Okay? His back is facing you. That's his back. And then his head is turned so you can see his profile. So first thing we're going to do is our eyeball, right? So we need to do our straight line. And then you want to do your eyeball on either side. Just like that. Then you're going to do your square for your tail, or your rectangle for your tail. You want to do a little puff puff on either side where the wings are going to come out. So you want to puff on that side, and you want to puff on this side. Okay, I'm going to follow along this and then smoothly connect it to the tail. Follow along this, smoothly connect it to the tail. There we go. There is our bati, our bird bati. And then his head is a rounded triangle like this. Then you want to put the tuft on the top of his head. So you're going to follow this line and then put the piece out going off the top of his head. And then on this side, you're going to follow this line and connect it to the body. Once you have that, you're going to go in the middle of this shape, and you're going to put the triangle in for his beak. Alright, and there you guys go, 6,000%. You guys just drew cardinals. How amazing is that, right? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And now we're going to color them in. Acrylic paint takes lots and lots and lots and lots of layers. Alright, so we're going to Becky on the left and Bucky on the right. Becky and Bucky. or it is Kelly and Greg. All right, we got Kelly and Greg. Or Coralia's twins, right? Coralia, hey. Hello, Darlene. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, healing wishes for Darlene, everybody. All right, fam. Let's get our healing wishes getting sent to Darlene. Many blessings to you, lovey. Many blessings to you. 6,000%. Let's get the healing prayers going. All right, so now I'm going to take, I'm going to swirl tap dab big boy a little bit, and I'm going to grab my red paint. I'm going to grab my red paint, and we're going to put layer number 1. And this is just coloring it in. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about, you know, where the wing is going. You don't have to worry about any of that. This is layer 1. Layer 1 of the red. Now, on the original, I did about 5 to 6 coats of red paint. I'm not going to do 5 to 6 coats with you guys. But I do want to just let you know that I did 5 to 6 coats of red paint on the original. So the more layers you put on. Hello, 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 Robin. Thank you so much for the stars, sweetie. The more coats of paint you put on, the brighter and more bold your colors are going to be. Right? So, but this is layer 1. This is layer 1, and I'm just using the flat of my brush to stay in my lines, because you guys know how much I love to stay in my lines. And that, like I said before, the more you play with it, the bigger it's going to get. So as you're doing these colorings, as you're coloring this in, you're going to wind up, your shape's going to get a little bit bigger, and a little bit bigger, and a little bit bigger. And that's why I tell you guys to start off with it being smaller than you actually want it to be, because the more you play with it, the bigger it's going to get. All right, so now I'm going to put in the red tips of the of Bucky over here. All right, so I'm just going to flick the red in like this to give them a fluffy edge. And thank you so much for the stars. Thank you, Katie. And then thank you, Robin. Thank you, guys. And then the bottom of his tail feathers. I'm just dabbing. If you notice, I'm dabbing. I'm dabbing. And then the tips of his wings. Just like that. And with that being said, if this is dry, you can do layer number 2. You can do layer number 2. Okay, so I'm just pressing very, very lightly, because in case it's still wet, I don't want to drag any of it around. But I'm doing layer number 2. Okay, and then with this layer, I'm going to do a little dab action here to fluff out the edge of that. And I'm going to do a little dab action on the bottom to fluff out the bottom part of the tail. So I am just holding my brush by the bristles, and I'm just going like this. That's all I'm doing to get the dab in. Okay, that's how I'm doing the dabs. All right, and then you could put layer number 2 on Bucky over here. Again, just doing the dabs. And I'm going to color in his beak to have a little bit of underneath tones for the orange. And again, dabbing for the wings. Dabbing for the wings over here. Alright, so the next thing I want to do, thank you guys so much for the stars. Oh, thank you guys so much. You guys, aw, thanks. You guys are awesome. Deb is asking, what size brush am I using? He's a 1-inch flat, hon. He is a 1-inch flat. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is I got to make brown. Alright, I got to make brown. Unless you guys have brown in your arsenal, I have to make brown. So I'm going to use my dirty white that was over here. And I'm going to grab my yellow. And I'm going to grab my red. And that's going to give me a peach. Okay, so you want that. You want to dab that and get that to look like a peach color. Okay, and once you have that looking like a peach color, I'm going to grab small amounts of black. And I'm going to feed the black in until I get a brown that I'm happy with. So, and I'm not going to over mix this. So I want the separation of colors. And I make a big old mess. I'm going to wipe Big Boy off like that to get all that excess paint. And now that I have this brown, I'm just going to kerplunk Big Boy in there. Thank you for the stars. Thank you guys so much. And I'm going to do my dabbing. Okay, I'm going to do my dabbing. So I'm going to put in my wing. And I'm going to put in my other wing. And then I'm going to do the back area, which I'm going to grab black with my brown. So this part is darker. And when you do the dabbing, you get the feather look. Okay, Irene, you got to run for a bit. That's okay. And the girl isn't the vivid red like the boy is. That's because I only did 2 coats, honey. Okay, and now I'm going to come underneath here. And I'm going to dab with the darker brown right underneath the wing area. And then I'm going to grab the lighter brown and dab with the lighter brown. And then just kind of dab in between the two, like that. And I'm going to grab the lighter brown and we're going to dab in our face. I'm going to grab a tiny little bit of white with this. So, I'm going to grab a tiny little bit of white with this. Okay, here, there, not everywhere. Stick and move. Keep it moving. Because if you keep going over the same spot, it's going to get mushy. You don't want it mushy. And I'm going to grab the tiniest little bit of white and into his wings. So you can really see his wings pop out. A little in the tail, why not? Okay. Just like that. Alright. 6,000%. And I'm going to grab a little bit of the black. And right on the top of his wing where his head is coming, I'm going to put some of the little darker I'm going to make that a little bit darker. Okay, so then you have the shade that's under his head. All right, so Mr. Bird is easy peasy lemon squeezy, and then you let this dry, and then you could do another layer of dabbing, you know, and you could do as many layers as you want to get the desired effect that you're looking for. So I'm going to put Big Boy in the water, and oh, yes, Jincy, yes, yes. So this is, oh, I was doing it backwards, wasn't I? I was calling this one Bucky, and that one's Becky, and he's Bucky. So I had them switched in my head. You're right, 6,000%. So this is Bucky, and that's Becky. Or maybe that is Becky, and that's Bucky. Who knows? This bird and that bird, all right? This bird and that bird. All right, that's how we're doing that. Okay, I'm going to grab Mini-Me, and I'm going to grab my yellow, and I'm going to grab my red, and make an orange, and I'm going to go in here and do the beaks close up. So we're going to do the beaks. And you want to grab some white paint, because this beak actually comes in like a triangle right here. And just let that dry a second before you fill it in. Okay, so let that dry a minute before you fill it in. And we're going to do her beak up here. And her beak comes in like a triangle too. Okay, so leave that white on your brush. And then you can color in her beak, and we can make it darker later. So there is the beaks. His beak, her... I keep screwing that up. I called it a her again. Whatever. The red bird. The red bird. Alright. So, I'm going to grab Big Boy. So, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you. Yes. Yeah, it does look like a candy corn because I added the white in there real quick. So, but we're going to fill that in all one color as soon as that white dries. I'm just going to zigzag zoom this a little bit so it's not that sharp of a contrast. So we're just going to do a little zigzag zoom to soften that out. All right, so the next step we're going to do, I'm going to do quickly, so I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. So we have to put her shading in. And his shading in. This bird's shading in. So I'm going to do the coat of red, and then I'm going to take Mini-Me with a microscopic amount of black, keeping Big Boy with the red paint on hand. Okay? So... oh my goodness. I'm going to mess it up all night, so that is fine. So, I'm swirl tap dabbing Big Boy. I'm getting all the brown out of him. And I need Mini-Me on deck. So, we got Mini-Me in my hand. And I'm going to put on the red coat of this bird right here. Alright, so I'm grabbing another coat. So, we're on like coat number 3 already, right? 6,000%. And if you notice... the bird is just I'm done with pronouns, guys. The bird is just getting more and more bright red. So, that is what we want to happen. Now, with the red being wet, I'm going to keep Big Boy on the side here. And I'm going to grab a microscopic amount of black paint with Mini Me. And microscopic amount. And we're going to do some zigzag zoom. So I'm going to outline where the wing is. I'm going to wipe my brush off. And I'm going to zigzag zoom this. And we're going to zigzag zoom this. Okay? And then I'm going to bring it into the tail area. Right here. And the reason I have you leaving Big Boy on hand is if you wound up grabbing too much black paint and you're not getting and your zigzag zooming is turning into a big dark black mess, you can grab Big Boy with the red paint and you can just soften this all out. Okay, so you can grab Big Boy with the red paint and just soften this all out. So if your dark zigzag zooming went a little out of control, you just soften it all out like that. Okay, that's how you do that. And then I come in here. Now, for her wing, you want to do the tip. Again, zigzag zoom. Then take Big Boy with the red paint. Take the Big Boy with the red paint, and you could dab. And you're going to get that separation of the wing right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Then you're going to put the black paint on the tail. Like that. You take Big Boy with the red paint. And you do your dabs. And you're going to get the darker tail feathers, and you can dab here, there, not everywhere, and get that little separation, and then it looks like separate little feathers. Okay? And then with this darker red on Big Boy, you see on the tip how it's darker? I'm going to go underneath her head. I'm going to go underneath the head, and I'm going to put in the shadow from the head. Just like that. And that is how you put in the coloring of her and of this bird. Messed it up again. And with the darker red, I'm going to put in some, I'm going to put some pieces on the top part of the crown too. And with the darker red, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put in the pieces on this bird. Like that. And I'm going to put on the pieces of this bird. Like that. Okay? So then you have the darker red on that. So now all we have to do is finish the details of the faces. Oh my goodness, I'm cracking myself up. And you guys can schmooze and play with the dabbing and adding the red with the darker color. Okay, just remember, microscopic amount of black. If it starts getting out of your control, just let it dry. Alright, and you'll be all set. So now we just have to do the details of their faces, and we're going to be all set. Okay, and we have to put her claws in. So let's put her claws, put the That's it. That's the girl and that's the boy. In my mind, that's what's going on. We're going to put the red bird's claws in. That's what we're going to do. So, I'm grabbing Tiny. I'm grabbing black paint. And coming out at an angle. So you want one coming out at an angle. Right there. Well, in my mind, I have it the other way around. So you put in you put in the one claw this way, and then the other claw you're going to put into the body, coming out, okay? Just like that. There's the other claw, and you need the little toes. So we need the little toes. There we have them. Okay, and whew, you guys got me stressing. Trying to get the him and her right. I'm stressing out. These things. We're gonna let this dry a tick, and we're gonna do the details on the face, and then we're done for the night. All right? Because I'm done. And I wanted to show you what's coming up. So we have next Friday, another fan favorite, it looks like. We have the Moonlit Beach with our sparkles. So this is next Friday. If you want to do it on a black canvas, you totally can. It's not necessary though if you don't have one. And then coming up after that is, you guys haven't seen this yet, except a little blip. We have Mr. Tree Frog coming up after that. So, Tree Frog and Orchids. So, that is on the radar. This is actually one I had to do for a private party tomorrow. And I'm going to bring it for you guys as well. And, you know, it's a tree frog. We're going to have lots of fun with it. You can make his legs go any way you want, because they're weird like that. So, premiere. There you guys go. Never seen it before. This is coming in 2 weeks. Okay? Because I actually have an in-person party tomorrow. And that's the painting that they picked to do, because they get a custom painting every party that I do in person. So I'm going to offer it to you guys. 6,000%. Alright, so I am going to get new... Oh goodness, Tanya. It's a frog. Frogs and orchids are two of your favorite things. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to get new black paint so it's nice and loose and thin. Nice and loose and thin for me. So we can do these details. And I'm not trying to do details with goopy paint. And I'm going to grab Mini-Me. I'm going to swirl tap that Mini-Me. And we're going to put the orange in our beaks. Alright, so we can do the nice bright orange in the beaks. One there and one here. So we have the beaks popping now. And I'm going to take Mr. Nifty. I'm going to take Mr. Nifty into my red paint, and I'm going to make the bottom half, whoop, I'm going to make the bottom half of the beak a little darker. So I just did a tiny bit of red paint, and then I'm just dabbing with the brush. And the same with this one. Swoop. The beak across. Tiny bit of red paint. And you could just dab that in. Okay, so you have the separation of the beak. Okay, I'm taking tiny with my black paint. And with this bird, you have the swoop of black. And the corner lines up with the beak. Now, if you made your beak a little too big, you could always turn around and make it smaller with the black paint. Okay, so I'm going to make my beak smaller with my black paint because it was a little too big for the face. So we're going to make it smaller just like that, and you can get it to fit your face better. Okay, 6,000%. And we're going to come over to this bird, and we're going to add the triangle here. And again, the point of the triangle follows the point of the beak. If you need to make your beak smaller to fit the face better, 6,000%, you can do that. Just make sure you don't go past the lines of the face. Okay? So don't put the black all the way out here and the top of your head's ending here. If you're going to make your beak smaller, you have to make sure that it's lined up with the head. Okay? Just like that. And you can add some little fluffer doos if you want. You can do little flicky doos with the black. Just make it look feathery, so it's not as harsh. Just doing some little dabs. Now I'm going to grab my white paint. So I'm swirl, tap, dab, and nifty. And I'm going to grab my white paint, which I'm going to add some water to because it got all globby. And we got to put in our eyeballs. So the one eyeball's over here on the point. Swoop, swoop. There's one eyeball right there. And then the eyeball on this bird is going to go swoop, swoop right here. Right there. And it's okay that the black's mixing in because you don't want it to be like mega white. Thank you so much for the stars, Joan. You don't want it to be mega white because then they're going to look like that. And we don't want that. Now I'm going to take my black paint again and I'm going to outline my eyeballs. Close up. Okay, so I'm going to outline my eyeball with the black paint. And outline this eyeball with the black paint. And then we need the circle. We need the circle, so it's a half circle, right? You don't see the whole full circle. You just do a half circle. Because if you do the whole full circle, you're going to wind up with a bird that looks scared. So you hide the top part of the circle in the eyelid. You hide the top part of the circle in the eyelid. Swirl, tap, dab, Mr. Nifty, and put in our life dots. And we're going to be all set, guys. 6,000%. So, I hope you had a lot of fun painting our bird couple. And if you are going to be watching the replay, if you have any questions, you can 6,000% ask me. And we have what's going so next Friday is our Palm Beach. The Friday after that is going to be our frogs. And you guys are going to be all set. Please, please, please post your creations on the event page. I can't wait to see them. This video will be available on YouTube. Anybody that like to send support, I'm going to share my support links again. Venmo, and we have PayPal, and we have Cash App. So 6,000%. Thank you so much. If you send me support that is $3 or more, make sure I get your address so I can send you Mr. Nifties. Okay, guys? So, we had a lot of people here tonight. Big old fam going on. Lots of stars. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Check out this roll call, guys. Lots of new family members. If you're new to the fam, welcome. I hope you come back for more torture. And special shout out to Lena. I hope you had a lot of fun painting with us tonight, my dear. And post your pictures, 6,000% on the event page. I did put a spot to share your posts. Please, 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 please do not click on any links that is a post from someone else. If you see the posts on Facebook, it'll say, there'll be a little picture and a name on top. If it does not say Eve's Creations Paint Party, don't click on it. You should see my little picture with the post. If you see something else, it's not me. So please, please, please be careful of the spam, as our family is, Lady did enjoy it. She got a little bit overwhelmed. That's okay, Lena. Take your time. Take a little break. Take a break. Have some soda. You can go back in and do the details later. 6,000%. The replay is always available, so you don't have to get it all done the same time I'm doing it. I just do it really, really fast because the video, you don't want it to be, how do you do snowflakes? Do you want it to look like it's snowing, or do you want an actual, the geometric look of a snowflake? Well, I'll do both. How about that? I'll just do both. Okay, to make it look like it's snowing, you take your small brush and you grab white paint, and you very simply just put dots in of all random sizes. To make your dots smaller, you just press lighter, and then to make bigger dots, you press harder. So that is how you would make it look like it's snowing. And if you want geometric shapes of a snowflake, I'm grabbing Nifty. You want to create your center first. So mark your center, and you can just very easily put some sort of design through the center, and then you just add to that design. As long as everything is pointing to the center, you will get something that looks like a snowflake, and you can have a lot of fun with those. You don't have to follow any sort of rhyme or reason. 6,000%. Just mark your center and work your way out from there. Okay? So that is how you would do a snowflake. It is overwhelming. You watch and then paint with the replay so you can stop and replay and catch up. Absolutely, 6,000%. That's why my replays are always, 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 always available for you guys. I paint rather quickly. I do try to give everybody some time, but videos won't get watched if they're over 2 hours long. So I have to paint within that time frame. So if it gets to be a little too much, just relax, take a break. You can catch the replay for any details you might have missed. And needs a deer or two. Yes, I'm not painting a deer. Oh, go rogue, guys. 6,000%. Have all the fun that you want to have with this. You can use the snowy scene that we did in the beginning and make all sorts of paintings out of that. So, you will be all set. And I will see you guys on Tuesday, How To Tuesday. I will see you all on Tuesday. I don't know what Tuesday's going to be. I think Tuesday, you guys wanted to see brush strokes. And thank you so much, Carolyn. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the birthday wishes, Carolyn. It's my birthday. Happy birthday, Catherine. That could get a little distracting, Britton. Having the kids chat away while you're trying to paint. What are we doing next Friday? Next Friday is the moon with the beach and the palm trees, Tina. So this is next Friday. Yep, this is next Friday right here. So we're going to do sparkly water and palm trees and our ocean. How do you get that red dot out of the path? How do I get the red dot out of the path? You paint over it. Let it dry, paint over it. Thank you so much, Joan. Let it dry and paint over it. If you have something going on, oh, this red dot right here? Yeah, that's dry, so I can just paint right over it. I can just paint right over it. See, I'm going to grab some black paint, and I'm just going to boop, boop, and no more red dot. Just like that. I didn't even see that red dot. Boy, you're good. You are good. Alright. I'm going to say goodnight. Mwah! You all warm my heart. Have fun and go create. Love you all. See you Tuesday. Mwah! Good night, everybody. That's a lot of birthdays, Britton. Happy birthday, July. Alright. Good night, everybody. You all warm my heart.